All right. What is going on, everyone? Got another Fight Night card breakdown for you. Last time I released one on Friday, so doing a little bit better, releasing one on Tuesday for you, so that way you got all the time to make your bets and whatnot. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started as always from the bottom to the top. Starting off with Markel Medeiros versus Austin Hubbard. Definitely looks like a Hubert. Anyways, I can't open up this for whatever reason. You try to click on it and it just won't go. But Austin Hubert, when you look at who he lost to last, Anthony Hernandez, he didn't have a great win. He's been overall pretty wishy-washy in his last couple fights, which I don't like him going to decisions and submissions and whatnot. Just never really good. And his nickname is Thud. I mean, come on now. Come on now. When your nickname is Stud, I gotta question a couple things about your fighting style and how intelligent you're gonna be. Anyways, Markel Medros by round one or round two KO is my prediction for that fight. When you look at him, he's got 9-1, 7 fight win streak, 6 wins by knockout. He's going for the kill. He wants to make a statement in his debut, I imagine. So setting up Austin Hubert for a nice KO, hopefully in round one or round two. And then we'll move on up in the card with Jamal Emmers and Gabriel Miranda. Now, both of these guys are coming off of losses, but I like Jamal Emmers' loss a little bit more. He lost to Nate the Train. And honestly, that's a pretty reasonable person to lose to. Nate the Train he's like a train. Once he gets going, you can't stop him unless there's going to be a lot of damage. He's also kind of wishy-washy as well in his last couple of fights. I mean, he goes quite back and forth. He can't really get on any kind of run, but I do like his competition a little bit more. Gabriel Miranda too as well. He just got beat by Charrier. Again, has also kind of been back and forth a little bit. I mean, his that was in September 28th of 2024. He doesn't fight. He only fights like once a year, which is not really good. I like someone who's a little bit more active. So for that reason, we're going with Jamal Emmers in round 1 KO or round 2 KO. That's what I got. Or I'll go to decision between those two. We'll see. Anyways, moving on. Rafa Garcia versus Vince Pitchell. Now I'm going with Rafa Garcia. He's probably going to get a decision. If you look at his last couple fights, he did lose to Dawson, but he just seems to go to decision, or submission, you know. So you kind of got to assume that he's going to end up getting another decision, especially because he only has 1 win by knockout, 9 wins by submissions. I mean, either he gets that submission first round or he's going to be, you know, trying to, kind of survive the rest of the fight. He doesn't seem like to be much of a on the feet, try to strike and finish kind of guy. Vince Pitchell, he definitely tries to get the knockout a bit more, but he's just also just been very mid. Oh look, there's Hubert again, losing to Pitchell. Um, I can't believe he beat Miller in 2020. He's also a guy that just hasn't fought very often and not in a while, and I don't like that. At least Rafa Garcia has been fighting just a little bit more. So for that reason, we're gonna go with Rafa Garcia by decision. Moving on, Lupi Godinez versus Julia Polastri. I'm going with Julia Polastri by decision. Lupi Godinez has really bad fight IQ. She makes really bad decisions. Her loss streak isn't very good either. I mean, she's just been going. She's kind of on a two fight losing streak. She was doing good for beginning. She got 3 wins, but she's on a 2 fight skid, and all by decision, which is not good. But yeah, I think Julia Polistrati can get it done probably by decision. It'll be very lackluster, but we will get to decision. Anyways, moving on. Christian Rodriguez versus Michaelis Costa. Now I feel like I don't know why it doesn't show it, but I feel like he just fought Andre Fili. I feel like I could be wrong. I don't know. Um, I'm double checking because I feel like yeah, he did. I don't know why it's not showing on his. I don't know why it's showing this as his last fight. It doesn't make any sense because he submitted Andre Fili, and I was rooting for Andre Fili to win. But Milk Coffee ended up getting it done. But I'm still going against him. I got Christian Rodriguez. He just beat a big grappling prospect. This guy Bashi or whatever. Was supposed to be making a big up and coming debut or whatever and stuff like that. Now I know he hasn't had like the most great record either, but he did put an end to Raw Rosas Jr.'s hype for a minute. And he's had some other pretty good wins. And I think that he's probably going to end up getting the decision again. If anyone's going to get the finish, it'll probably be Michaelis Costa. And honestly, he wouldn't be that bad of an underdog pick, but I got to go with Christian Rodriguez. He's probably going to play it safe and end up getting the decision victory. Moving on to Atiba, Jose Daniel Medina versus Atiba Gauter. I don't know. I'm sorry. Again, I don't know how to pronounce that. Jose Daniel Medina is very mid, unfortunately. His last losses to Zachary Reese, and other than that, like, can't find any other info about him. Not that Zachary Reese is bad or anything, but just not what I'm looking for. Atiba Gautier, he looks shredded. Look at him. I mean, just absolutely killer look. Yeah, we're going based off physique here a little bit. He's making his debut, 6'4", 81-inch reach, 4'4", leg reach. I think he has all the right attributes to probably get like a KO or something. So that's what I'm going with. First round KO. Bet your house on it. No, I'm just kidding. Moving up, Edgar Charias. I don't know how to say that. Versus CJ Vergara. I'm going with Edgar Charias. They're both kind of to pick, but he's had some good fights from what I've seen. Not really. I'm honestly just picking him because he's the favorite. I know I hate to do that. CJ Ferreira isn't very impressive either, man. He's just, I mean, to be fair, he has lost to two of these two big guys or whatever, but like, yeah, they're just both kind of back and forth. If anything, I'm picking it kind of based off. I don't even want to say record wise because he's 11-6, he's 12-6. Really tough one to choose. I don't know why I was picking Edgar Charias earlier this morning when I was writing this stuff down. I can't remember, but whatever. Edgar Charias by decision. Probably going to be, a lot of scrambling and stuff like that. It's a flyweight fight, so could be a lot of scrambling into a decision type fight. So that's why I'm predicting Edgar Charias by decision. I'm picking a lot of decisions for these fights. There's probably going to be a lot more finishes because it's going to be in Mexico City and they're going to want to show out. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I got a lot of decisions though based off these guys and their past fights from what I've looked at. Oh, sorry, it's starting to get hot now in Vegas, so you got to keep hydrated even during while making videos. Got to stay hydrated. Moving on, Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. Now this is kind of a oh, what the heck? Why did it do that? Anyways, Ronaldo Rodriguez, this is kind of a setup fight for him. He's on a great little streak he's got going on. I know the odds are kind of pick 'em, but yeah, he's on a great streak right now. And Kevin Borges, you know, he's on a 2-fight skid streak, and I haven't seen any other fights from him in the UFC, and it's not great to be coming into the UFC on a 2-fight skid streak. Ronaldo Rodriguez, a lot of hype behind him. He had a great win against Ozzy Osbourne, and he's on a 2-fight win streak. And I gotta go with someone, who's going on a bit of a streak here. He's got the momentum. I believe he doesn't have the reach advantage, but he does have the leg reach advantage. He had a pretty crazy fight on the UFC Sphere card. But yeah, I feel like he's gonna search for a finish in Mexico City. Probably try to get round 1 or round 2 KO. So that's what I'm going by for Ronaldo Rodriguez. Moving on, David Martinez versus Simon Oliveira. Now, I gotta be honest. I'm kind of just. I think I gotta choose David Martinez here. Simon Oliveira has been also, like, not on the best, streak either. He's been kind of losing as well. I don't know why they don't have his face here, but they have it here. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna go with David Martinez coming in for his debut. Plus, his name is David Martinez, like a character from Cyberpunk. So, for that reason, I gotta go with David Martinez, round 1 KO or round 2 KO. Anyways, moving on. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Vince Morales. I got Raul Rosas Jr. Again, this is also a setup fight kind of for Raul Rosas Jr. This guy's been going on a bit of a kind of meh streak, We look at some of these wins and losses here. I believe this is his last win. Is December 4th, 2021. Lost to Martinez, decision. Lost versus Johns, decision. Lost versus Lapalus, also another decision, and lost to Smith, also another decision. So, yeah, not really good for Vince Morales. And for that reason, I gotta go with Raul Rosas Jr. He really wants to become one of the young prospects in the UFC. He's got a lot of hype behind him. He's gonna be riding that hype wave, and coming into Mexico City, he's gonna be coming in to look for a finish. So I'm guessing he's either gonna get a round 1 sub or maybe even a round 1 TKO. In one of his fights, I've seen him even drop someone. He didn't really look like someone that had punching power, but he's probably been working on his hands a bit more, and I think he could probably get a TKO in either round 1 or round 1, or he's gonna get the submission. If he doesn't get that, I could see Vince Morales maybe taking over at that point, but Raul Rosas Jr. in the first round is very dangerous. Anyways, moving on. Kevin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. Gotta go with Joe Pyfer here. He means business when he comes in. Okay, I mean, look at Kevin Gastelum, man. I know, everyone's got different kinds of bodies and stuff like that, but I feel like Kevin Gastelum has just been very, very mid, unfortunately. He had a great fight against Israel Adesanya. Since that, though, he's not really been much of anything in the middleweight division, or even the welterweight division when he tried to come down. I believe he's missed weight for welterweight, so he's back at middleweight, and he's just really behind at middleweight, man. And this should be a fight for Joe Pyfer where he can land some clean strikes on Kevin Gastelum, and I don't know if he'll TKO him because Kevin Gastelum does have a big head, but he can definitely hurt Kevin Gastelum and have him running most of the fight. I can maybe see them stopping the fight just, of how much pressure he puts on him against the cage, and Kevin Gastelum's probably, like, not throwing back, but just eating the shots and stuff. I can see them doing that. And I can see that they probably do that in the first round or second round because Joe Pyfer, he's going to come out and instantly try to take out Kevin Gastelum. That's kind of how Joe Pyfer is. If he doesn't get that, maybe Kevin Gastelum can have like a decent third round against Joe Pyfer. But the first and second round are going to be like just heavy pressure on Kevin Gastelum. And I don't know if he'll be able to survive it. Um, I mean, he might be able to like not get completely knocked out stiff, but he'll be against the cage, like just getting pounded on, and then the ref will probably step in and stop the fight. Unless, they're in Mexico and they want Kevin Gastelum to be a warrior and take just 1,000 shots to the face and body. But yeah, gotta go with Joe Pyfer. He's been on I know he had that skid against Jack Hermanson, but ever since then, I mean, he's been doing really good. He really wants it. Kevin Gastelum has been at the top. He's only been going down since then. He hasn't had a good, comeback fight. I know he beat Rodriguez, but I mean, come on, that's Daniel Rodriguez. He got choked out by Brady at welterweight. I believe this was another fight at welterweight against Rodriguez. He had a unanimous decision win. He kind of honestly should have lost the fight to Chris Curtis. But yeah, he's just where's his Izzy fight? This is definitely not. Oh, I was about to say, I was like, that's 2019. That's 2019. That's crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy. He's been kind of just, just a little, Could have been something big, but I feel like he just doesn't take it super seriously. I don't know. That's just my impression. But anyways, yeah, Joe Pyfer, round 1, or round 2, TKO. Probably won't be a KO. Probably be TKO. Moving up to the co-main event. Wow, we got Drew Dober in a co-main event. I believe he has main evented before, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I got Drew Dober to get this done. He's a pretty reliable, top 15, bottom top 15 guy, where he'll sit at just that outside of the ranking of top 15. Manuel Torres, he lost his last fight to Bahamondes, and he hasn't also been having the most notable wins. And I know he beat Chris Duncan, who just won recently. But Drew Dober has fought the who's who of the lightweight division. He's fought Islam, he's fought Bobby Green, he's fought lots of people. I think he's even fought Arman Sarukian, if I can remember correctly. I might be wrong on that. I probably am. But yeah, he's really consistent. I know he's got 14 losses, but he has really great striking, and I can see him getting it done against Manuel Torres. Probably upset from Mexico City, but I can see him getting it done round 1 to round 2 KO, catching Manuel Torres and putting him out, TKOing him, or just KOing him stiff. But anyways, moving on. We got Brandon Moreno and Steve Erceg. Now, I hate to see Steve Erceg lose again, but that's probably what's going to happen, unfortunately, against Brandon Moreno. I have him getting it done by decision. He could even get it done by submission, maybe, I think. Maybe in the later rounds against Steve Erceg. It's going to be a lot of striking in the first 3 to 4 rounds. But after that, I think it'll be a little bit more grappling heavy from Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno has some great trips, and he's also just very durable. I think he'll be able to survive a lot of the stuff that Steve Erceg throws at him, and he'll probably be able to move along with it. He could get maybe dropped by Steve Erceg, but he'll get right back up and probably get a takedown or, land something good back by his own. There'll definitely be a lot of competitive moments in this fight because Steve Erceg is really good. That's why they're putting him, in this fight against Brandon Moreno. I know he just lost to Kai Kara France, and I know he lost to Pantoja, but he had a really close fight with Pantoja, which, a lot of people arguably say that could have gone to Steve Erceg. So, I mean, another. I think it did take place in Brazil. So, maybe it takes place in another venue, and Steve Erceg gets the nod. You never know. But yeah, anyways, I think I got Brandon Moreno getting it done by decision. There'll be some scrappy moments, of course. It's a flyweight bout. They're always very scrappy. I don't think Brandon Moreno is going to get caught, though, by Steve Erceg. I think he'll play it really smart. I think he'll go for takedowns. Steve Erceg, he'll get back up. He'll be, again, very, very slippery and, very scrambly as well against Brandon Moreno. But I think Brandon Moreno is just going to land a bit more on the feet. They might not be as powerful, but he'll land more on the feet, and that's probably what will get it done against him, against Steve Erceg. But anyways, those are all my picks. Thank you very much for watching. We'll get that done in a nice 20 minutes there. Jeez, I didn't realize how white I am here. Jeez, was I this white the whole time? Whatever. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great night.